I'm Randy Altman with postPerspective. We're here at NAB 2015, and I have Bob Caniglia from Blackmagic, who is a very busy man. You have 38 new products?
Correct.
Can you talk about every single one of them?
No. So, well, I'll tell you how it kind of breaks down in different categories. So, one of the big pushes last year was Ultra HD, obviously, and 12 gig Ultra HD is necessary to do higher frame rate. So, in order to do 60p, which is what broadcasters want to do when they do Ultra HD, we have a whole new set of products that address the Ultra HD at 60 market. So, we have a new router, a new switcher, we have new cameras, which I'll get to in a minute. We have new mini converters, Teranex Minis they're called, and they all deal with 60p at 12G. The 12G connectors, which are the same as regular SDI connectors, but they just have more power, obviously, to do 60 higher frame rate. They create a lot of heat, so we had to redesign some of the products in order to allow for this heat. Because in the traditional mini converter boxes that we had, they were, going up to boiling water on them, so you really couldn't do that. So we had a new design. It's great. They can be rack mounted or desktop. So a whole slew of new products that incorporate 12G for 60p. Now, in addition to that, new cameras. We have a couple of different ones. We have a new what we call the micro cinema camera. So it's basically it's about the size of a tennis ball. We show it in an ad with a tennis ball and the camera next to it. Because the idea here is a lot of people are using the pocket cinema camera to do a lot of like in cars and things like that. But the problem is the screen's on the back, so you really can't tell where it's on, or you have to go outside and look through the window to see. So this is designed to do remote. Put it in a drone. And what we've done is, it doesn't even have a screen on it, but it has front button control, so you can hit the record button. You'll see the record light, so you know it's recording.
Right.
And it's got outputs, and it has what we have a 15-pin connector, so you can wire in all of those sort of radio control type controls. So you can do start and stop and pan, and you can put in all kinds of controls on a breakout cable. So it's a hackable camera. So people can add things that, different features for them. So, because I think what we'll see is it'll be in drones, it'll be, on someone's body shooting, POV type things.
Right.
And this way actors will know it's on because, the record light's on, so instead of worrying. So it really does allow for the use of the camera the way people were trying to use the pocket. The pocket is just, I'm going to shoot you, and it's on your head. So and that's what, we have a lot of examples of those kind of things. In addition to that, while we were building that body, we said, oh, wait a minute, we can make a live camera too that's that small. What if we made a 4K camera. It doesn't have any recording on it, but you use it for live, and it's this big. So you can even has a port, so you can put a B4 mount, so the ENG type style lenses, the big ones, the expensive ones, you can mount it on this thing and use that. And the camera itself is, like I said, it's the size of a tennis ball. So it really can be put anywhere. Like we were talking about, you put it cooking shows, like hide it up there and shoot down, and and put it in the goal, and but get high resolution, high quality, Ultra HD images, So the idea is it can be used in action, live action, if it's because they have the output, or we have a little monitor that we came out with called the Video Assist. It's a combination of a 5-inch touchscreen monitor and an HD recorder. So it has HDMI and SDI out, so you can use it to augment any cameras, whether it's a DSLR type or even one of our cameras. If you wanted to add an extra recorder, so your high frame rate recording in the internal one, shooting Ultra HD, but you want to do a ProRes at the same time, and you can mount this on there, have an extra monitor, record, and it has a little stand, so you could just stand on a table. I mean, it really has a lot of uses. We even have them on the booth with the new studio camera, and then put it on top. It's a monitor, viewfinder. So, there are a lot of uses for this. It's $495, so it's really inexpensive. It does recording. It's got HDMI, SDI. It really is very flexible. It's called the Video Assist, and it's really, really exciting.
Is that available now?
Well, shipping the Video Assist, I think, is June. So yeah, a lot of them are May, June, July, those kind of time frames, depending on the product. And then in Ursa, we announced last year, right, the big camera.
Yep.
So Ursa now has an upgradable, it was designed with an upgradable sensor, so we have a new sensor for it. 4.6K sensor, so it's larger than Ultra HD, so you can frame for HD in RAW. and it has 15 stops of dynamic range, so it's really great in low light, and just a real cinematic look from it. It is going to be a $2,000 upgrade if you bought an Ursa last year. The price of the camera has gone up, obviously in the 4.6K, but we'll offer the 4K and the 4.6K versions of both of those cameras in EF and PL mount. But yeah, this new 15 stops of dynamic range. Now, one of the things is the original camera that we first came out with, the cinema camera, was designed to really be a handheld kind of a camera, but people were adding all kinds of things on it, and that's when we came out with the Ursa, right? But we decided to make the next generation, and we made Ursa Mini. So it's a smaller version of Ursa. It has a flip-out 5-inch screen, but it has a handle on it, and you can shoot point of view kind of things.
Yeah. But
it also has a shoulder mount kit that's available, so you can go lock into a tripod, take it off, put it right on your shoulder, and shoot handheld right away, especially with our new Ursa viewfinder that we make. So there's an Ursa viewfinder, electronic viewfinder, that's an OLED, high quality OLED viewfinder that's available for Ursa and Ursa Mini.
So Ursa is 16 pounds?
16 pounds, right, and the Mini's about under 7. Yeah, so it's a difference. It's a big difference, and it's just a more portable. And the thing is, you can get the same sensors in both. You can get a 4K and a 4.6K in the Ursa Mini. So if you can use both of those on a film or whatever, and they'll match.
Right.
Great. So they have different uses. There's different things. You get higher frame rates out of the Ursa. It only goes to 60. Frames per second is 120 on Ursa. So between the Mini, there's different combinations. There's got to be like a flow chart of, well, I want this sensor, I want this body type, and this lens mount, and you kind of figure out what you want. So there's a lot of choices.
Menu of
exactly. There's a lot of choices that we have for everybody. Okay. So the new viewfinder though is really cool. It's $1,500. It's a full OLED 1920 by 1080. I mean, it's got a lot of amazing features for something in that price category. It fits really nicely, obviously, on our cameras, but has SDI in, and the power is right there. You power it off either camera. Okay. So that was, let's see, what else do we have there? So, and then DaVinci Resolve 12, we announced that. We really went crazy with this one. It's got 80 new features. It has a new user interface.
You said 80?
80. Yeah. Okay. Including a lot more editing capability. It's got multicam support now. You can do multicam editing. If they click on my mouse, go between all the camera angles. You can do full audio support now. It's got the ability to round trip with Pro Tools, and you can use audio plugins now. It has a new 3D perspective tracker. It has the ability now to, there's a lot of little things that we've done. Like, for instance, you go in Finder and find video, you just drag it into the timeline now. It's not like a process. So we've really kind of streamlined the way it works, but also added a whole bunch of new features. That'll be shipping in July. It's a free upgrade. So if you bought DaVinci Resolve 8 back in 2010, you're still upgrading for free in 2015. So it's kind of neat.
Well,
and Fusion. I forgot to tell you.
That's right.
We bought Fusion in September, and they put Fusion on Mac, and we're demoing it now. And so now we're going to have Fusion on Mac, Windows, and Linux.
Because for years, Fusion was not available for Mac at all.
That's right.
So
it was a Windows thing, yeah. And then we're going to have a light version, free light version on Mac and Windows, and then the full studio will be for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Linux is a lot of times is used for the massive rendering farms and things like that. So this way, all three versions will be available, and we're actually demoing the Mac right now.
Okay, and I'm assuming that everybody could go to your website and find all of this information.
That's right, www.blackmagicdesign.com.
Thank you, Bob Caniglia.
Thank you for having us.
Randy Altman, postPerspective, NAB 2015. Thank you.